Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I'll be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Gemini, wherever Gemini is in your chart. As you can see, we have 3 decks out here. I'm kind of trying something, just trying a little something. Because I got a couple new decks. I got the before tarot and I got the after tarot. And I mean, obviously, like as the name suggests, the before tarot is like the moments before the events on the traditional Rider-Waite tarot happen. And then the after tarot are, the moments preceding that energy. So I also, I thought that I had just a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. I did not. So I had to buy one of those too. I really need to chill on buying tarot decks because I have too many. Anyway, so we're going to do recent past, current energy, and then near future energy. So that's basically the gist or the vibe of this reading. So of course the before tarot is the recent past. The radiant wise tarot is the current energy surrounding you, and then the after tarot is, obviously like what's going to happen next, or outcome even. So anyway, we're just trying it. We're just kind of seeing how it goes, how we feel about things. So if you have an opinion about it, drop it in the comments, whenever. And so we're going to get one card from each deck. And then we'll also, towards the end or once we get through talking about all of the cards, we'll look at the card on the bottom of the deck. So for Gemini, recent past. We'll see if I can get through shuffling these without having a blowout, because that's been happening a lot. Interesting how that came out, but I don't know. Let's just leave it like that for now. For the current energy, present energy for Gemini. We don't take the cards that flip in the deck. We only take the cards that come out of the deck. I've had personal conversations with each one of these decks, so we're all on the same page. But I just don't take it seriously if it flips in the deck. I want commitment, So if there's a message, the card needs to come all the way out. We're just all going to be like surprised together. I kind of love that the cards are coming out this way. Near future for Gemini. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Is it? I don't know. We're gonna say that it is. Because it's rare, I feel, that all of the cards come out. And the first thing that came to my mind too is like, taking things one step at a time, or almost even like dealing with things one step at a time. Let's see what the recent past energy is. The Magician in the reverse. That's interesting. I don't shuffle reversals into my decks, but of course, if they come out in the reverse, we will keep them that way, and we'll honor that. Also interesting too is that the Magician is Mercury energy, which is Gemini. Mercury is in retrograde. I think it just went back into Scorpio. I want to say today, this is one of the nice things about working from this desk for these readings, is that I have my laptop right in front of me. Because I rarely do if I'm sitting at like my other desk. Let's see. Oh, it's at 0 degrees Sagittarius right now. So either later today or tomorrow, it'll be going back into Scorpio. But I mean, like if you have early degree Gemini placements, like you might be feeling this, because obviously it would be, Mercury retrograde would be opposing those placements. So just tension, tug of war, that type of thing. And I'm really only mentioning that because the Magician came out in the reverse. So upright, the Magician talks about having everything that you need in order to manifest the thing that you want to do. It's pulling on your resources, your motivation, your energy, like having the right quote unquote mindset in order to move forward. I also always think of the Sword of Gryffindor with the Magician card, because it's this energy of whatever you need will show up for you at the exact moment that you need it and for the purpose that you need it for. The only thing that you need to do is to like move forward, start taking action, realize that like you have exactly what it is that you need. You have the right amount of money, the right amount of energy, the idea, emotion surrounding it too. And then whatever you need, because usually it's like we kind of get hung up in, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, it's not the perfect time, it's not right, it's not blah, 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 blah. Right? It's like waiting for the conditions to look or feel better. And the Magician, I feel like always shows up to be like, that's all just kind of shit that you're telling yourself, or like it's a stalling tactic, or, kind of an excuse, because truly what you have what you need right now. But interestingly enough, and like in this card, right, this is the moments before tarot, or before the traditional Magician card, right? So we have the Ace of Cups coming in here. They're holding the Ace of Swords. There's the Ace of Pentacles. They have the Ace of Wands in their other hand. So it's almost kind of like that energy showing up. It's almost like gathering all of those aces, basically. That's kind of how like it feels like in this card. But also more specifically though, because they have the Ace of Swords in their hand, they have the Ace of Wands in the other hand. And, swords have to do with our mindset, our thoughts, our beliefs, communication of those things as well. Ego too. Wands have to do with the motivation to take action towards something, creativity, passion. It's trying stuff. It's putting actual energy and action into something, your passion, your creative expression. And then the Ace of Cups comes in on this cloud, being offered by this hand. And then there's this monkey down here that has the Ace of Pentacles in their hand. Which, again, it's almost kind of giving me that feeling of the energy showing up for you as you progress forward. Now, obviously, this card came out in the reverse. So it could be that, well, first of all, it could be that Mercury is in retrograde right now. And you could be experiencing some sort of delay, or even just to like not quite seeing things clearly. You know, it's like not being able to recognize that you do have what you need. You have the information to take action. You have the resources, the materials, the energy, whatever, right? But with it being in the reverse, it's like just either not seeing that very clearly or not moving forward with it, right? It's like almost kind of causing a delay, or maybe even too, like attributing a meaning to something that is not necessarily based in like evidence or information, because I just keep hearing in my head trickery. And I mean, like Mercury as a planet, I believe, is depicted or described as being a bit of a trickster. And I think that's kind of why, you know, like Mercury retrograde is like such a whatever the word is, whatever the word is, to where, like, I mean, most people, you know, like a lot of people blame Mercury retrograde for like technology issues, or, you know, some sort of breakdown in like something, just random, even like random technological shit happening, or you know, like you thought you did something but you didn't, or even just miscommunication type of thing. So again, and I don't remember when Mercury retrograde is supposed to end. I want to say well, what is today? The 18th? I don't know. Like I literally cannot remember like when it's supposed to end. If you know, drop it in the comments. I could just Google it, but should I? Okay. Here we go. November 29th. So even, you know, with retrogrades, they always talk about it being a time to revisit something. You know, there could be communications coming back around, conversations coming back up, almost like tying loose ends. It could even also be, too, a time where this Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles is going to come in. You know, I mean, it could be a time of like recognizing that you need to put maybe a little bit more attention or energy into, you know, like cups have to do with our emotions, intuition, empathy, love, purpose, fulfillment. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our energy. Where are we investing those things, and where are we physically showing up in our lives? Worth and value too. So there could even just be, because I don't feel like this is a negative thing. Also too, like with reversals, it could just be like interior or interior. Well, yeah, okay. inner work, like not necessarily an outward expression, but just internal is a word that I was looking for, not interior, but where it's almost kind of like too, like things are maybe clicking in a different way. And again, it could be because like maybe you are experiencing your intuition differently. Maybe you are, discovering a new level or a new understanding of yourself too. And maybe with Pentacles, like it's self-worth, or even your worth in your job or in your position, your skill set. Even to like, how are you spending your time? And is it in alignment with you? That type of thing. Let's see what the present energy is. The Devil. Interesting, because I feel like this card like flipped over in the deck. And see, and that's why we don't take those cards either, because if it was serious, it would come out of the deck. This is Capricorn. Let me just kind of that almost like is amplifying. Hang on. Put a little dress on her because I don't know if YouTube will like flag that or not. But the Devil is Capricorn energy, and also it's about obsessions, addictions. It's like the stuff that almost like steals our time and our energy and our like life force. It's not something that really gives back to you. Like distractions, numbing. I mentioned addictions, and of course that can be anything from, a substance to shopping to, whatever. But it is something that we almost like give control to, or that we feel controlled by, or even in like some instances, something that like we feel powerless or helpless to. Temptation. Interestingly enough though, too, right, is how the Devil, they have one hand up, one hand down here, and the Magician upright is also in the same posture, as above, so below. So yeah, honestly, I really do feel like there's just something that it's just not like being, I don't know, like viewed, understood, interpreted, maybe. And again, like that could be because of Mercury retrograde, because of course, I mean, it would depend on like where Sagittarius is for you, and Scorpio also. And like I said, it would also depend on like your Gemini like placements, but there could just be also like a cycle that's coming back around, a way of thinking, a way of operating, where you are being asked to look at that from a different perspective, and where in your life or in your relationships or in your work are you like either giving your power away or feeling like you are out of control and can take your control back and recognize that you have more control than you are seeing for yourself. Or two, like if you really don't have like control of that, like what can you do then to either regain control or to, almost like get out of those shackles? Because we have these two people here, and they're both chained to this pedestal that the Devil is sitting on. The Devil is historically used as an external symbol of fear and corruption. The devil is also the individual's inner symbol of the shadow self, which is repressed desire. Our repressed desires and emotional blind spots inform our actions, reactions, and life path. It is only by confronting the devil archetype inside of you, which is to say, having the guts and bravery to shine a light into your own darkness, that one can truly be set free. When the devil card appears in your reading, take an honest look at the things you usually hide away inside yourself. Be brave and honest to unfold new pathways of possibility and set yourself free from inauthentic and destructive behaviors. Yeah. And, even like with the magician coming out in the reverse, it's also like a matter of almost like using that energy in a way where you should, not in a way that you want to, or that is an expression of yourself. So that this really almost like feels like deconditioning. And it's like one of those things of the only way out is in. So again, right? I mean, this being a time of, and who else is like, we have Neptune and Saturn retrograde. Is that Chiron? I think is retrograde. Uranus is retrograde. Jupiter is retrograde. And then of course Mercury is retrograde as well, which is also like, forming that grand trine right now as well, the grand water trine. So really, like getting into your beliefs, your feelings. Where can you release control? Where can you almost like kind of rein in leeching energy? Plug in those holes a little bit. And then we have the Two of Swords. This really feels like letting people fight their own battles, like not getting involved. And, swords have to do with our mind, our mindset. I think did I already like kind of go over, I can't remember if I already went over that, like with the Magician card, but, beliefs, how you're communicating your ideas. I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we tend to hear our ego is in our minds, and our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, feelings. It becomes our perspective, our outlook. It becomes our mindset. It's the reasons why we do and don't do. So it's the reasons why we have the outlook that we do. And it's almost kind of like too, like, and like I was talking about with the devil card here, like a real opportunity to get in there and be like, why do I have this belief, or where is this perspective, like coming from? And it's interesting too that there's these like two knights here, and it's like they're in active engagement, but it's not like they're actively fighting either. It's almost kind of like being at a standstill. And then we have this figure back here who is blindfolded. And, generally, like when I see somebody blindfolded too, it's like either avoidance or two, like with the Justice card. They're generally depicted as being blind, but it's literally so that there aren't any other like outside influences. It's like you have to rely on other senses in your body versus what you see, in order to like make a decision, or of course, like hand down a judgment, like with the Justice card. But It can also just be too much like information, because when I was looking at this card just now, I got this feeling of like conflicting opinions. So it's almost kind of like too, like if you're out there trying to receive information, and even like I was saying with the Magician card, it's like there's just something isn't quite being either like understood or presented or received, informed, like something is just, like maybe just all of the information isn't quite there yet. So also too, like maybe not making a judgment call just yet. This could even be an invitation to really rely on your own like intuition and your own personal knowing. But also it's like having to somehow like separate yourself from any type of outside influences. Like let's say you're getting two differing opinions or two like, bits of information, but there's like some sort of disconnect. Like one person is saying this, the other person is almost like contradicting that, but has like their own philosophy or something. So this is really, to me, it feels like an opportunity to, first of all, I mean, of course, like they're all in here, right? And it is all information, but really relying on yourself. And I think that's too, like with the Devil card, like where are you giving your power away? Where can you, almost like regain control? And I think I said like leeching energy, right? Like, kind of plugging those holes a little bit and relying on yourself. Like that's what really keeps like coming through with this Two of Swords. It's almost like these two are like kind of trying to like vie for this person's attention or whatever. And instead of almost even making a decision based on like their ego, right? Because both of these people would be almost like doing that out of like their own ego. Trying to get your business, your attention, your decision to go with them, or, like that type of thing. And it's like literally having to go within yourself and weigh the options and almost like make an informed decision, or a decision that is more based on like your own guidance versus what you're being sold type of thing. Okay, let's grab the bottom cards. And of course, if you haven't done so already, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed to my channel. Of course, it helps me grow. It helps YouTube push out these videos so that more people see them. Like the video, leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about the spread too. And if it resonates or not. And, save the video too. And then, I mean, you can just unsave it. I mean, I think it counts as engagement, but those are all free ways to support me and this space. And, it's an energy exchange. So for the Magician, we have the King of Pentacles. I love that. And for look at this, the Devil, we have the Magician. And then the Two of Wands. Interesting. Here's that Ace of Pentacles that we were kind of talking about, like with this monkey coming in. I mean, kings are the highest expression of the suit. There's clearly a desire to be successful here, to, figure something out. And to even, like I was saying with the devil card about like regaining control, it's like personal growth is how that feels. I mean, like, all things pentacles. I believe that I already went over all things pentacles. Kings are leaders. They, people look to them for guidance. This is having more than enough, right? For yourself, for your family. It's almost too like creating opportunity. Also, pentacles are the physical body. I don't think I said that. Our health. So it could even just be, getting to a place of satisfaction or contentment with your health as well. But again, like with the Magician in the reverse, like there's some level of either disconnect there, or again, just, maybe things just not being quite clear just yet. Like the reasoning and the goal is correct, right? Like the goal would be this King of Pentacles, but either the messaging or the information, the approach, the execution is just not quite there yet. Like there just might be a tweak or a pivot coming in. Even again, it could just be perspective. It could be a messenger even coming in, or just, like receiving the information or understanding it differently because it's somehow presented to you differently. This could even be, a person who has that expertise who would, it just, again, it clicks. Or they have like the solution. The Magician upright with the Devil. This to me does feel like regaining control, taking control back. Also too, like the Devil isn't a bad thing. I mean, there are no bad cards in tarot anyway, but the Devil really just shows you where things are out of whack. Right? And we need to be able to look at those things within ourselves, to be able to address them, right? And in order to get back on track, or again, right? Like plug those holes. Like I've said, like 3 or 4 times, if we're just leeching and almost like, like giving up our power, giving up our control, this would be taking it back and recognizing that like you have the right stuff. It could even be too, like by the 29th, like things are starting to gel a bit better and become more clear as well. And then the Two of Wands with the Two of Swords, I didn't even recognize that there's 2 2s and 2 1s out here. The Devil is 15, so that's kind of cool. It's 110, like as I'm doing this reading right now. 2s are knowing what you are to do, I believe. They're not like necessarily action cards, but it's like gearing up for that. And even like when I first saw this card, I was like, there's this connection here where it's like finally, these two trying to vie for whatever it is, your attention, your business, your skills, your even like, because I think the first thing I said with the Two of Swords was to stay out of it. So there could even be people that like want your opinion, want your input, want your blah, 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 blah. Right. And it's almost kind of like, you know, that maybe it doesn't feel right, or you don't really want to be involved. But so we have these two here that are engaged in, you know, it's not, I don't feel like it's like, they're not like actively fighting, but their swords are crossed, right? So it's kind of like this standstill. And again, like it could just be differing opinions, receiving two different types of information on one subject. But then there's this character over here that, and I was saying that with the King of Pentacles too, where they would have the expertise, the experience, the direction too, because the Two of Wands is about planning for the future. What possibilities are there? What actions do you want to take? It's literally coming up with a plan or strategizing. This person is holding like the world in their hands, and this person looks like they are like about to grab it. So again, like to me, that feels like receiving the clear, understandable, manageable, like information, having a path forward, even having somebody to work with or to help guide you in that. And I don't think it's either one of these people with the swords in their hands. It's almost kind of like this figure was like, you know what, I don't like either of these options. I'm just gonna keep like taking action, because that is, you know, wands. Not to mention in the first magician card, they're holding the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands, right? And we have swords and wands over here. So that's interesting to me. It could be just getting another opinion. It could be just knowing that the information that you have at this point is not all of it, or it's just, it's an inner knowing. I know it is. I know you feel it, but, and follow that, honor that, you know, like, because there is going to be a person that is going to have the information that you are seeking, or again, you know, the direction that you will want to like take action towards. Make sense? I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.